GameStop fell a total of 15% in under 10 minutes with, guess what, 0 trading halts. Yet every time the price moves up, they end up halting the stock. Now, more than AMC as well as GameStop, a lot of things across the board are forming this ugly head and shoulders pattern. GameStop, you could argue it's not a head and shoulders, but then a stock that moves in tandem with it is playing out a much more picture-perfect setup of a head and shoulders pattern. Now, when GameStop flushed down the other day 15%, this is something that we called out in the chart, saying that GameStop could hit its low and potentially come all the way to a low of $21.40. Now, aside from the head and shoulders pattern, I think this is more likely a fake out, and we've seen it in the past. Ethereum Classic also showing very ugly signs of a head and shoulders pattern right here, which AMC and Ethereum Classic track with each other. But Ethereum Classic, you could argue, is at a buy range testing this trend line where it makes higher highs and higher lows. Is this the bottom for everything? We got a lot of stuff to talk about. If you haven't liked the video yet or subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe, because 60% of you guys who watch my videos every single day don't subscribe. I don't know why, but it's free and it helps me out. Okay, every single time AMC as well as GameStop ran, what was the SPY doing? What was the overall market doing? It was fighting for all-time highs, and then AMC, GameStop would rip, and we're going to touch on the SPY a little bit later. First of all, we covered this a little bit in yesterday's video, the FTD T+35 cycle for AMC as well as GameStop. The FTD settlement period for Roaring Kitty's initial 5 million share buy-in ends exactly June 21st, which is this Friday. T35 was what triggered the January 2021 squeeze after Ryan Cohen bought his shares mid-December. This could be what Roaring Kitty meant by,
"Oh shit, I'm alive. Kinda.
I already did it 35 minutes ago. When he sold his contracts and bought an additional 4,001,000 shares, he created a new FTD cycle that ends exactly on July 19th, hence his Dune/worm tweet. Timing is everything. Not financial advice. I'm betting June 21st calls will print and light the flame. T+35 holidays. FTDs have to be delivered. Ryan Cohen is brilliant. That T+35 plus holidays means any day now that crazy volume for AMC is due. GameStop and others in the basket, about 1 billion shares. Unless the massive FTDs get kicked beyond T+35, it looks like this Friday and July 19th will be great days for GameStop and others in the basket. On top of that, whales have been buying $30 calls on GameStop as well, showing some excitement going forward in the share price. Now, this was Roaring Kitty's most recent tweet, and I think there's something to take out of this, and if you zoom in, you can see in his eyes there are 2 diamonds. This is what I think the main thing to take out of this is. Everyone thinks, oh, Roaring Kitty's, not this genius guy. We thought he knew something. He actually doesn't. Everything's crashing. Again, like he said before, just chill. On top of that, these article writers are getting extremely desperate. According to Investor Place, sorry apes, expect an infuriating end to the AMC stock saga. Much like a bad movie, you'll be sorry for wasting your time with AMC stock. Now, this is more so market manipulation than anything Roaring Kitty has done, but of course they are paid off, and regulators let it slide. Okay, I want to touch on the charts really quick. Aside from the head and shoulders pattern, I want to bring up the weekly chart on GameStop as well as AMC. GameStop was primed for a cool down. Look how far out it broke out of the Bollinger Bands for an entire week, and then for another week, and in the middle it broke out even again, and then after that again. Okay, so we are getting pushed back into the Bollinger Bands. We are tightening up a little bit here. The RSI was overbought twice, touching the 70 and coming out above it, which is what we saw back here before the real squeeze on GameStop. And this could be the same exact scenario, right? This is just the build up for a bigger squeeze, and the base of this squeeze could be at 120. Okay, that could be the very base of the squeeze between 80 and 120 before moving higher. Now, I just want to show you that things were prepped for a pullback. However, AMC tested the top of the Bollinger Bands, came down, but the RSI is still very, very, very cool on AMC. This looks more so like a spring loaded to move higher, and I said in the near future, I expect AMC to come up to around $17.50, so watch those levels as well. A couple things that I wanted to point out. I want GameStop to reach more volume. Back during this old squeeze, it was over 1 billion in volume. However, prior to that, where the RSI double touched the 70. We broke out of the Bollinger Bands exactly like we're seeing right now. The volume was above 650 million. Where we're sitting at right now, we're sitting right around 600 to 700 million. So the same exact scenario and setup as the pre-squeeze when GameStop rallied. So I just want to point that out there. Also, somebody called out a squeeze play in Discord yesterday that you can put on your list and keep an eye on it. Maybe it will keep running, maybe it won't. But some members made 34% overnight. Ticker symbol PRST. If you're not in the Discord, get in there. Come talk with us. Come get these plays. Okay, the Fed reverse repos are also back to the 2021 levels. Banks are in a crisis. Things are not looking good. And this collapse could lead to an even larger squeeze in our meme stocks. Also, the music has just stopped. Japan banking giant to liquidate $63 billion in treasuries and European bonds to plug massive unrealized losses. And lastly, another effect on the market, Putin arrives in North Korea for the first visit in 24 years. People are very sketched out and skeptical as to what is happening. People are in line at banks in Russia expecting their currency to collapse, and we could potentially just be going to war. Knock on wood, hopefully not. But the overall market stays resilient and is trading at 548.49 and then was up after hours as well, coming up to brush against and test that $5,500 level pretty soon on the SPY. But again, I just want to warn you, likely Thursday and Friday, the SPY is set up for a pullback. We are breaking out of the Bollinger Bands and the RSI is extremely overbought. So just expect us to touch 5,500 and then get a nice quick correction. Nvidia 1350 or 135 after the split. This thing does not stop running. Now the most valuable company in the world. Very scary because we know this is an overcrowded trade, and once hedge funds leave, it's going to be probably one of the worst collapses that we've seen in any given stock. Is it ready? Probably not, right? It's too risky to trade. Now, Apple stops work on the Apple Vision Pro 2 due to slow demand. Apple is now working on a cheaper model to launch in late 2025. And lastly, Adobe sued by US regulators for making it too hard to cancel subscriptions. Potential puts were also called out in Discord on this as well. Okay, I want to touch on crypto really quick. We called this out way up here when Bonk was retesting the 618 on the fib. I said this is playing out the same setup that we called out. However, it looks like a weaker move, especially if we break below. We broke below. You could have sold here, and now we're flushing down. But you could argue Bonk is now at a buy zone right here, just like a ton of other plays, testing the 236 on the fib. Can everything turn around, or are we going into a bear market? Dogecoin, same thing, breaking below and coming to flush down, but we still have that base at 11 cents. If Doge breaks under 11 cents, things are going to get really ugly. However, just like GameStop and AMC could turn around with this head and shoulders pattern, I think Bitcoin as well, holding 64,000, making everybody think this is bearish, making everybody think everything is bearish, just for everyone to sell too early and then institutions to buy back up. I am holding everything. I'm holding my GameStop, holding my AMC, holding my SPY, I'm holding my Dogecoin, I'm holding my Bonk, I'm holding my Bitcoin, and I'm also holding my Ethereum. So I just want to let you guys know that. Speaking of Ethereum, this is exactly what we've been tracking. There are two possible scenarios here. If Ethereum breaks under the 618, under 3,300 and gets a candle close, this thing is likely to flush extremely low and give us a nasty fire sale down to around 1,800. Less likely scenario, but we're going to watch that level. As of right now, we're going to assume everything's going to play out correct, and we're going to scale higher, breaking above 4,200 on Ethereum. Overall, guys, check out the second link under the video. Hopefully you enjoyed this holiday. Go get your free stocks, up to 15 free stocks. Earn 8.1% APY on your uninvested cash for just signing up through my link, opening an account through Moomoo, and making a deposit into there. It takes 2 minutes, and you're getting level 2 order book data for free, access to trading options, going long, going short, viewing other exchanges, and more. So again, use that link, open an account, and make a deposit. The top link under the video is my custom indicator. If you're having trouble trading, it's pattern detection as well as forecasting, and I'm adding stuff to this as well. We are in the process of that. Go get your free trial if you don't want to pay for it just yet and see if you like it. Lastly, come talk with me. Come talk with the most amazing people in Discord. It's the third link under the video. Coffee a month. Best Discord on YouTube for the price. We have options trading alerts in there. We talk stocks and crypto, post our gains, post our losses, and more. And I also post my trades as soon as I take them. So again, guys, go check out all the links under the video. They are there to level yourself up. That is it. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.